Just turned that one on by accident. So let's plug this one in and see what happens. I've got a mug for this one. I have to try and get into the system by pushing the button, which is on the side, I think. Yeah. And we'll see a mark. So that's weird. It looks like something must have come off. I definitely can't play that. That would definitely be copyright. So that.
Consider this my notice. And I bet neither did we.
That'll be copyright. All this I can't.
VAR and drivers who park like this. We must say, have you had your week of it?
Right place. As well as helping to look after the properties themselves.
There isn't really much else I can show because there's no
because they said this was a combat zone during that time. So we don't know exactly what.
Put the DVD in. I'll put that in the right way. See, that came up really quick, so it might be alright for someone wanting to play DVD on. But it's definitely not as good as this telly. I've still got that one. And I've still got this one. And I need to get the remotes for them. And so the one that was behind there. Oh, I can't even turn that down, I don't think. Oh, look. Oh, no, I can turn it down. Excellent. So, yeah. DVD's working fine on that one. Now let's try the RTLA. Oh, can't put the phone on at the same time, so I'll just have to leave you and plug in the HDMI into this one. So let's turn this one on now and see what happens. Oh, I think it turned off. I'm underneath.
Say that's what he was referring to as his post-born of exhaustion.
Yeah, that one is a much better picture. Surprised it's not flickering that much.
Really instrumental for Reform UK as an upstart party that was seeking to professionalise and grow its network on the ground. And you've become
The speakers sound really loud on this telly.
So it was a sudden decision, a very unexpected one, and certainly a big loss for Reform UK. Now, here we
So
are,
it came with
just
a
couple of days
remote
on.
and it
He
came with
says
a
that
stand.
a lot of his supporters have been getting in touch saying, please reconsider your decision. He says
You shouldn't watch the news on these very long. This is just for the video.
It doesn't seem that he's
we
returning as chairman, but in this role of trying to find efficiencies in local authorities, because Reform won lots of controls, lots of councils at local elections earlier in the year. So, you know, a huge sort of a bit of a turbulent few days for the party, and certainly a bit of a whirlwind. But Nigel Farage clearly is very pleased that he's returned despite it. It's a great outcome.
Three people have been killed in Russia's most intense bombardments yet of Ukraine's second biggest city, Kharkiv. Russia's Ministry of Defense said it was targeting military factories. Officials say more than 20 others were injured, including a teenage girl.
Yeah, so there's quite a few scenes on this one.
That Russia's latest attacks were an inevitable response to Ukraine's recent drone assaults. Paul Adams reports from Kyiv.
Not the deadliest attack on Kharkiv.
Intelligence sensor doesn't work on that one. When you put it on there, it does. So you want to put it around there.
Russia's targets not known, but apartment blocks and private
Level
homes
2 bright. Put it about there.
A high price in a city that has already suffered more than that. Irina says she found her wounded daughter in a room full of rubber and dust. They carried her out on a stretcher, she says. Her arms and legs seemed okay. The blast blew out Alyona's windows.
When the drone started buzzing closer and closer, when the sound was right over our house, we took the pets and hid behind the wall in the corridor, and then it hit.
Sitting so close to Russia, Kharkiv has often taken the brunt of Moscow's.
Did have to turn down the bass quite a lot, and it's still quite bassy.
Today, fresh images from Operation Spider's Web, a single drone's journey, fast and low, in search of a target amid the flaming wreckage at a Russian airbase. Donald Trump.
I'll have to do the preview on it.
They gave Putin a reason to go in and bomb the hell out of her last time. When I saw it, I said, here we go.
It's this kind of talk that frustrates Ukrainians. They're still waiting for any sign that Donald Trump is willing to put pressure on Vladimir Putin, rather than always appearing to take his side. They roll their eyes at the suggestion that somehow Moscow is retaliating. What, they wonder, do we think that Russia has been doing for the past 3 years? Paul Adams, BBC News, Kyiv.
Liam Collins is a retired US Army colonel and
yes,
defense advisor to Ukraine.
Nice telly.
He gave me his assessment on the latest Russian bombardments.
It's being characterized as a retaliatory attack by Russia, and if you look at it, yeah, it was a significant attack, right? Approximately 452 drones that they sent in there and missiles. But you really have to look at that. Russia has limited capacity, limited missiles, limited drones, and what it really does is save them up for these large attacks. Typical day will maybe have 50 to 100, 150. And so, yeah, in that one retaliatory response, let's say, it looks like it's significant, but you look at it on a weekly or a monthly basis.
Maybe I might just put really both of these on for £20, something like that.
Wider strategy, or is just this more of the same?
No, this is really just more of the same by Russia, right? I mean, they hit,
Service on the way, ETA 10 minutes.
I had every faith of you getting this far.
I was
because you're sat next to Clark Carlisle and you can see his iPad.
Very, very long time.
In 1990, having covered over 28,000 miles, Bill McAlpine brought Flying Scotsman back from Australia. It became the first and only steam engine to circumnavigate the globe